Okay, so this is a part 4, and it kind of stems from Woolworth's Historic Diner, Bakersfield, California. So I'm writing memories from when I was a kid. Okay, and so I'm going to emphasize this part again about me and this other guy who worked there for 3.5 to 4 years. His name was Mike. He's Guy A, referenced in my other videos. And so this part is, this is how they got us to work additional hours by punching out at noon. But Mike and I were always getting in trouble. He was a little more forgetful than I was, but I would forget sometimes too. Mike was always not punching out at night. And so I would forget to punch out at lunchtime. That was my thing, was punching out. And then I would forget to punch back in at lunch after I went back to work. So they'd have to write it in. It was more work for them and they would complain. So we were required to punch out if we were working over 6 hours for a 30-minute lunch. They would not pay us. But they got us to, so we were scheduled 6 hours, but we were actually there 6.5 hours for lunch. But we did get 2 15-minute breaks that were on the clock. They gave us 30 minutes for lunch, and we had to punch out, which meant we were actually working an additional 30-minute split shift where they would not pay us for lunch. Typically, we were never scheduled over 6 hours. They wanted us part-time. Sometimes we might do 6.5 hours. I actually got scolded one summer by my boss when I was working extra hours, and he told me that he might have to hire me on full-time if I keep working full-time hours. Then I noticed a distinct cut in my hours back to 30 hours in the summer. I should have also added in that we were scheduled until closing, but then we would still be working after closing because it took at least 30 minutes. So then if we were scheduled for 6 hours, we'd be working 6.5 hours, then with a 30-minute lunch break. So it took at least 30 minutes to clean, but I don't think the bosses understood that. But then I noticed a distinct cut in my hours back to 30 hours in the summer. During school, I would get around 16 to 20 hours per week, making $2.95 an hour. Then the stores told us they were giving us a raise. I thought it was great, but it was the federal government who raised minimum wage, not the store. And my mom told me that because I told her that I got a raise at work, and they specifically told us they were giving us a raise. My mom says, "You did not get a raise. They raised minimum wage." And so I didn't fully understand that until I was older. But this was in the late 1970s, early 1980s. The gas stations did something with their pumps which confused me. I'm going to have to put this in the next video.